同学们好.
同学好。
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Nice to see folks. And Aileen's joined us. Hey, Aileen. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of June. We are in the second section of the Yang Taichuan traditional hand form. Today, we are doing a movement, actually three sequential movements called Step Back, Repulse the Monkey. And the first and the third monkeys are pretty much the same, and the second monkey is the mirror version of the first monkey. So hopefully we'll have fun with that. So let us begin, and we'll start with our standing practice. Today I am going to actually add the beginnings of standing practice, because in the second section we do kicks and turns, and it helps to develop our leg strength. And so gradually over the next few weeks, as we prepare to do the kicks and turns, we'll be doing some of our standing practice on one leg. We won't be doing one leg today. We'll work up to it slowly, but to make it easier to do that. So let us start. So we are going to start in our parallel stance, standing practice. So start with your feet shoulder width apart, or a little bit wider if you prefer. Both feet parallel, pointing to the front. So let us begin. Start with your head pushing up. Your legs are straight but not locked. Open the arms to make a nice circle. And bend the knees. And let's spend a few minutes in our standard standing practice. So check your posture. Head pushing up. Feel everything else sinking down from the neck. Everything goes down and everything goes up from the head. Feel your shoulder blades sinking down, elbows dropping. Absorb the chest and round the back. Feel your elbows connected to your shoulders and pulling out. So the elbows pull the shoulders, pull on the spine, and then the fingertips complete the circle. Fingertips pull on the palms, pull on the elbows. Then relax the waist. Make sure your spine is dropping straight down. Feel the weight on your feet. So see if the weight is equal forward, back. We call that put the weight over the bubbling well. Bubbling well, the acupuncture point just behind the ball of your foot. And also make sure that the weight is even left-right. That's not usually a problem in this posture, but it will be in some of the others. And so now attend to your breathing. See if you can sense your abdomen moving as you breathe in and out. Standing practice actually helps us with our posture, those checks that we did, and those posture, as we get the posture right, it becomes easier to do abdominal breathing. And it becomes actually easier to sense your abdomen moving, your lungs moving your abdomen. It's actually interesting. It's like yin and yang. There are always in Tai Chi Chuan these binaries. And so our posture you can see in somebody else. Breathing you can only feel inside yourself. So posture is external. Breathing is internal. Posture has a shape. Breathing doesn't have a shape, but they combine together. And so your breathing helps you diagnose problems with your posture. If your breathing is stiff, your posture is probably not right. And by adjusting your posture, you can adjust your breathing. So each transforms into the other in the usual way with yin and yang. So come out, and actually what we'll do is go into empty stance. Shift your weight to one side, open the foot to the corner on the other side, shift your weight to the supporting leg. Empty stance, ball touch. Check your footwork, back foot to 45 degrees, all your weight. Start with all your weight on the back foot. Then add 30% on the front foot by tilting your torso forward at the hips. Head up, shoulders down, elbows down. Round the back. Relax the waist, drop your hip. Here, one of the ways, another way now you can check that your hips are dropping, that your waist is relaxed, is make sure that you have this weight on your back foot, even front back and left right. We're only doing a minute in each of these, so change feet, bring front foot in, out to the corner, shift your weight over. Empty stance ball touch on the other side. So start with your weight over the back foot, tilt your torso forward so that you get 30% on the front. Don't move your hips forward, fold forward at the torso. See if you can be aware of your breathing. It's funny, I say see. You don't see your breathing, you feel your breathing. And in a minute, we don't have time to do very much, but we'll start with a minute. And if you do this a few times a week, you can build up to 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes and 3 minutes. And over time, more and more. So now we're going to change to the other empty stance. Go back to the first side, bring the front foot in, shift your weight over, empty stance, heel touch. Again, sink your weight of the bubbling well on the back foot, tilt your torso forward. Your chest is open to the corner. Your head is looking straight ahead. So your nose and your front toe are pointing in the same direction. You're tilting your weight forward in the direction of the front leg. So don't don't tilt your torso towards your hands. Tilt your torso towards the front foot to give you that 30%. Head up. Check your shoulders. Are they sinking? Is your back rounded? Waist relaxed. Feel the weight on the bubbling well of the back foot especially. Check that your crotch is rounded, that your back knee and your back toe are in a line. Let's go to the other side. Shift your weight back. Change feet. Empty stance, heel touch. Chest to the corner. Head looking forward. Feel your weight bubbling well, 70% at the back. Tilt your torso forward if necessary to get 30% on the front. You want enough on the front so that if you push against the front foot, that there's friction. You've got enough weight on the front foot to anchor it to the ground. Check your breathing. For me, I always end up having to adjust my waist relax. Usually my butt sticks out and I have to fold my hip in a little bit, but don't fold it in too much. And if you fold it in too much, you'll find your breathing getting tight again. Okay, now we're going to start our standing practice on a straight leg. Change your feet. Put the front foot out, just touch the ball and come up. So use your front foot to maintain balance, but your back leg is straight. If you need to hold on to a chair, get yourself a chair if balance is an issue. But here, your standing leg, your back leg is straight. Your chest, though, is actually more than corner, but your head is pointing forward. Check your posture. Head up, shoulders down, elbows down. Absorb the chest. Relax the waist. Next week, we'll move the foot back a little bit, but at this point, we're doing a posture exercise, not a balance exercise. This is just that we can feel what our posture is when our leg is straight, but most of the weight is on the leg. Change to the other side. So sink your weight down on the back leg. Bring the other foot to 45 degrees. Shift over. Start with the foot in front and straighten your back leg. Bring your front foot in just enough so that you can touch very lightly with the front foot so you don't have to worry about your balance. Just enough on the front foot to maintain your balance so that you can focus on posture. Check. Waist relaxed. Chest sinking. Shoulders down. Head up. Head looking straight forward to the direction of your front foot, but your chest is off by more than 45 degrees to the corner. And release. So that's the beginnings of our standing practice. Okay, good. And a few more folks have joined. Denise, great to see you. Yukiko, welcome. So let us begin our practice. Let's just practice together the form. We'll start towards the end of the first section. We'll just practice together a few times. I won't call any cues. This is just for us to start getting our Tai Chi Chuan mind straight. So we will start with parry, block, and punch in the first section. So I will go in the same direction that you're going. So we start off going to the front. If you want to call it 12 o'clock, then we do grass bird's tail to the right, which is 3 o'clock. Turn around, then we go all the way, the whole series of movements to the left, which is 9 o'clock. And we end up in left brush knee, and we're going to go into parry, block, and punch. So you're in a left bow stance, left leg forward, right hand pushing out, left hand by the thighs. Parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Embrace tiger. Return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Fist under elbow. And stop. So does anybody have questions about any of that? Let's do it again. So you are starting in the left bow stance. After you've done the brush knee, I'm going to turn around so that I'm facing, that you can see another side of me. But we're at the end of brush knee left, so left bow stance. Parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Embrace tiger. Return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Fist under elbow. Push out to the right side. Now step in the direction of the corner. Grab as you step across, pull down with the left, heel touch with the left, lift with the left, punch under with the right. You're looking over the tiger's mouth of your left hand in the straight direction. And stop. Are there any questions? Okay. Go ahead, Yukiko.
I have a question. Fist under elbow, fist under elbow. When do you make your fist with right hand?
Yes. Very good question. So when do you make the fist in fist under elbow? Unlike some of the other movements, it happens while other things are going on. But I will let me try and show you that. So we've done our push here. We step out. I'll do it from here. Step out. We're going to pull down. Now we're going to pull down with the left. Our weight shifts to the right. As our left makes a turn here, the left hand makes a turn, you make a fist with the right. As you lift up, so as you make the turn, your fist is now ready here, and then you lift up and punch under.
I see. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, excellent question. One of the reasons why I think it's such an excellent question is something that I researched. I wasn't sure myself, so I'm very pleased you asked because I was unsure myself. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so let us review fist under elbow, and we'll just do the two parts of it as we always do. So let us. First, I'm going to do the footwork, and I'm going to go in the same direction that you would be going. So we start facing the front. We've done Embrace Tiger, Return to the Mountain, and you're actually towards the back right if you're facing the camera. So we've done push, but we're in a bow stance. Footwork: shift back the weight onto the left foot. Turn the right toe, if you can, all the way to the straight direction. Sit back your weight onto the right foot. Now you release your left foot, and so the left foot has pivoted on and the left and the right feet up front. Pick up the left foot and step out. You're going to step out center line two sides towards the corner direction, and your foot is in the corner direction. Then you're going to shift your weight onto the left with a waist movement, with your waist turning. The right leg comes a half step across. Both feet are now pointing towards the corner. You shift back your weight, and the length of that back step is so that when you pivot your left foot on the ball, you're center line two side, because what you're going to do after you've pivoted on the ball is pick it up, heel touch, empty stance. Let's just do that again. So I've done Embrace Tiger, Return to the Mountain. I've done a push. I'm in a bow stance, almost to corner, between straight and corner and towards the back right. Shift weight to the left. Pivot the right foot so that the right foot points to the front. Shift the weight onto the right foot. Pivot the left ball of the foot. Now, step out with the left foot in the corner direction, center line two sides. Shift your weight forward on the right with a pivot of the hip, half step with the right foot. Shift your weight onto the right, pick up the left, heel touch. I want to do this one more time, and I want to go back to something which we talked about a couple of weeks ago, which is distinguishing empty and full. knowing where the weight is and being able to shift the weight. And again, we're just going to do footwork, and this time I'd like you to really pay attention to how your weight is shifting from one foot to the other, one foot to the other. There's quite a few of them in this movement. Okay, so let's start again. So we're in a right bow stance, right leg in front, 60% on the front foot. I'm going to shift my weight back. Almost all the weight is now shifted to the left. Pivot, and pivot the right foot to the front. Now I'm going to pour all the weight from the front into the back, so from the left into the right. So now my left foot is empty. Pick up the left foot, step out. Now as I shift my weight forward, 100% of the weight now is on the left, because I pick up my right foot, step, pour the weight back onto the right, 100%, because you're going to pick up the left, pick it up, heel touch, and then put 30% back on the left heel. So that's how you can see we're constantly moving our weight. And the reason why we do that is if you want to neutralize somebody, you need to be able to change. To accommodate what they're doing and to be able to change, you need to be able to move. And that's what we're practicing here. Let's do arm movements. So the first part of fist under elbow is very much like single whip, but it ends a little bit differently. So we're in push. Both arms are out. Our upper arm is in line with our right thigh. Our chest is square to the direction of our right leg. As we shift back our weight, we flatten the palms. Now we're going to pull. And so this pull movement actually is being driven by rooting the right heel, waist turn, arms separate. As the right foot comes to the front, the arms come around, end up about at the corner. As you shift your weight back to the right, the arms come in front of the body, and then you press out. So when your 2 feet are both parallel, pointing to the front, you're pushing out with the right hand, and the left palm is pointing to the right fingertips. Then we're going to step out. So step in the corner direction. Hands don't change. Shift forward and connect with your opponent. Your left arm makes a nice rounded shape connecting to your opponent in the corner direction. As the right foot takes a half step, rotate your left arm to do a grab. As you shift your weight onto the right, pull down with the left arm. Right arm doesn't do much. As it turns at the bottom, as heel touch, now you have a root with your left foot. You can do something. Left hand up, right hand punching in. Do that again. And in fact, I'll start in another direction so that if you're watching, or if you need to check what I'm doing, you can see a little bit more. I won't have my back to you. We're in push to begin with. Shift back weight, flatten the palms. With a waist turn, arms separate. So left arm is ahead of the right. They start turning, arms are parallel in front of my chest. They come all the way to the corner. Now I'm pushing back, palms in front of my midriff and pushing out. I want you to check your posture here as you push out. It's a push with the flat of the hand, so it's not a strike with the heel. It's a push. Your palm is about shoulder height. Your elbow is dropping. Your left arm is a nice rounded shape with the fingertips of the left hand pointing at the right forearm center. Now we're going to do the second part. So step out to the corner. Connect out with the right hand. As your right foot moves, rotate the left hand. So this is the coordination. The waist leads the limbs. As your weight shifts, you rotate the left. Now, as your weight shifts to the right, pull down with the left. Make a circle at the bottom, make a fist, and connect. So what I'd like you to notice here is that the left arm coming up goes at the same time as the right arm punching in. Our ending posture, our chest is open to the corner. Left arm is feel a lift in it. You're looking through the tiger's mouth to the side. The right fist is at the center of your body. It's not under your elbow. And the striking is, depending on how flexible your wrists are, you might not be able to get all the way, but you're punching this way. And make sure that you have your chest rounded in the exercise we were doing earlier. Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, so let's practice that a few times. And I will call cues as we go. So we're starting going towards the corner, slightly less than corner. We've done push. Fist under elbow. Start shifting back weight, flatten your palms. Pressing with the heel, waist turn, arms start coming around. Arms come all the way to about the other corner. As you shift your weight onto the right, press down, fingertips to fingertips in front of your stomach. Drop the right elbow, press out with the right hand. So you're almost all your weight on the right foot. Left foot is parallel to the right, looking to the right. Step out to the diagonal. Connect out, going on the diagonal with the left hand. As the right foot takes a half step, rotate the left hand. Your left hand is now in grab. Shift your weight to the right, pull down with the left. Heel touch, lift with the one, punch with the other. And stop. So there's a couple of things that I'd like to review and revisit. One of the things is at the end of the first part, what we do with the pushing out. And then the second is the punch and the lift. So the first thing is, as you know, when we start fist under elbow, it's like single whip, but it starts like single whip, but it doesn't end like single whip. So the first thing that I want to just remind us, and this is just for single whip in general, when we're doing single whip, the arm movements, we start with our arms like this, right? And then they go like this, and then they finish like this, and then close and go back. So the movement is try and keep your arms extended. So one of the things that I'd like us to think about is, you remember this posture that we were doing? We feel this extension. It's like, our arms are part of a balloon. So when you're doing this pull, feel the extension, that you want this nice round shape in the leading arm. And when you come back, feel it's rounded. The next thing I think that I noticed that some of us are doing is let me just emphasize how we do the second part of this movement. So we come to here. Now in single whip, we would do this. We would have a hook. This one, we don't have a hook. Here, which is a strike. Here we've got a push. And so the way we get to the push is, so this is still standard for single whip. Now what I want you to do is drop the right elbow and push out. So the hand is not going up, it's coming out like this, and I want you to feel there's a push movement there. The other thing, just to make clear, if you're thinking about gaze, you have an opponent right here, so make sure that you're looking in that direction when you do the push, to remind yourself and people watching you there's actually something happening there. So that's the first thing, the first part of it. Then the second part. What I'm seeing is really nice on the connecting out. So what I'm seeing is that folks are doing a great job connecting out here. Also, nice job as you turn here, rotating the left hand. Just a reminder, we are not actually opening our left shoulder as we rotate the arm. We want to keep our arm closed so that we can pull down. keep our chest sinking. Don't open the chest when you rotate the left arm. And then we've done the rotation. Now, as we pull down, keep your right arm more or less, a little bit less than shoulder height. As you bring the left arm pulling down, make a fist, and then it's going to punch in. So the right arm, there's actually a closing of the chest from here to make the punch here. So what I'm seeing some of us do is from here, the right arm, at least from what I can see on the camera, I may be wrong, is going up and then coming down. It's not up and down. It's from here, boom, straight in. Okay, any questions?
Quick question on the left arm. When it comes up, is it going up like this? You know, your left arm when it's coming, it's going up like that because are you lifting someone up or you're lifting their?
Okay, let me just play that back, Karen. I couldn't hear you very well. So the question is, what's the left hand doing at the end? Is it a lift? Yes. So what you're actually doing, actually, when I ask Susan to come in and we can, I'll show the application for step back repulse monkey. Let's go back and we'll review the application for this movement too. But essentially what you're doing is that somebody, you know, they're punching to you, you're connecting with them and you're grabbing. So you now have their wrist. You're pulling their arm down and then twisting it up like this. So your left hand is actually doing this lift at the end. So it's, you're doing this lift. So it's this sort of shape. So I want you to have this lifting shape. The one thing that you remind me, Karen, thank you, to underline is when we finish with this lift, the hand is about shoulder height. It's not up. You've got it. That looks great to me. Yeah, it's just here. But the fingertips are not forward. The fingertips are showing a lifting. Yes, that looks nice. And there's definitely some martial art going on in the Skenandori household. Yeah. Oh, very good. We'll get them to demonstrate the applications next. Yeah, excellent. Love to see that. All right, good. So now let's do the new movement for today. So the new movement is step back repulse monkey. And in fact, we're repulsing 3 monkeys or the same monkey 3 times. I'm never sure which. Let me just demonstrate the movement. So if I'm going in the same direction that you are, we've ended up at the end of fist under elbow in this position. So step back repulse monkey. This is 1, 2, which is the same as 1 on the other side, and then 3, which is the same as 1. So this is step back repulse monkey. Seen from the front, it looks something like this. Step back, repulse, monkey 1, repulse, monkey 2, repulse, monkey 3. So we'll break it down into footwork, arm movements, and body. The gaze in this one is nice and straightforward. You're looking at this in the straight direction the whole time. So gaze doesn't change. So what we're doing with the footwork in this one is we are retreating. Somebody's coming towards us and we're retreating. What we do when we retreat is we want to keep our center of gravity moving in a straight line as we go back. And so to do that, we step center line 2 sides. So what I'm going to do is my front foot is going to come back and my heels are on either side of a line. Then I do it again. Then I do it again. this is a wonderful case where you should do what I say, not do what I do. I practice in front of the mirror to make sure that my feet aren't crossed or too wide. But hopefully the principle is clear. So let's practice the footwork, and we'll do the 3 steps. So I will start facing in the same direction that you're facing. So we started with fist under elbow. So we're in an empty stance, weight on the right foot, heel touch. So we're going to shift our weight back slightly, release the front foot, step behind us, touch with the toe, ball, heel, and then straighten the front foot. So pivot on the heel, straighten the front foot. Number 2, release the weight back, step behind you, toe, ball, heel. As you push your weight back with the left heel now, straighten the left foot, so the left foot is now pointing straight ahead. Number 3, step back, toe, ball, heel, shift weight back, front foot to straight. Let's do that a few more times. So we start, step back, toe, ball, heel, push back, straighten the front foot. Number 2, step back, toe, ball, heel, and push. Now, one of the things that is a Goldilocks situation is how far back do you step? You can go too far and you cannot go far enough. So let me just talk about the things that we're trading off here. So when we step back, as you'll see in the application, I'm going to pull on my opponent. So I want to step back far enough that I've actually got a nice amount of leverage to go back here. So I want to step far enough back that I've got leverage. If I just do a very small step, now it may be that my constraints today are I only can do that, that's fine. But if I have a very short step, I really don't have a lot of leverage. All I have is my waist movement. I don't have the weight shift. So that's the one side. The other side, if you say, oh, I need to step back, if you step back too far, it's very hard to have your feet pointed at the corners. So for example, if I'm here and I step back very far, it's very easy for me to actually have the only way I can get my foot down is to have it more than corner. Because to actually have my foot at 45 degrees, my heel has to go even further back. So you don't want to step so far back that you can't do a good back foot to the corner stance. So go back just far enough that when you put down your heel, your foot is to the corner. That's the footwork. Now let's talk about arm movements. So the arm movement of the right, actually, and the left hand is an arm movement that you know. It's the same arm movement that we have in brush knee and push. So if you remember brush knee and push, we circle down, arm goes to the side, arm comes to the shoulder and pushes out, right? So arm comes to the side, closes to the shoulder and pushes out. And so that is the movement that we're doing here. So let me first, we'll do both sides. All I want you to focus on is the arm movement. Don't worry about the footwork. So we start, let's say we start in this direction. I'm going the same direction as you. I'm starting on my right leg. My left arm is, starting on my right leg, my right arm is punching under. I'm going to swing down my arm, goes to the side, comes into the shoulder and back. Now the other one swings out, comes to the shoulder and back. I'll face you, so I'm probably mirroring, so let's do it on the right side, out to the side, comes to the shoulder, pushes out. To the other side, swings to the side, come to the shoulder, push out. Down to the side, into the shoulder, push out. down to the side, out to the shoulder, and push out. That's the one arm. There are two arms. The other arm, in a way, is actually quite straightforward, because what the other arm is going to do, it's going to start, because you've started in this. Actually, the first time we do a lift. Once we start doing these movements, these are actually strikes. But essentially, the hand's in this shape. We're going to rotate the hand palm up. So the hand is going to go from fingertips up to palm up, and then it's going to pull down to the side of your hip. We're going to go from fingertips up, arm rotates, pull down. Now, as you pull down with this hand, I want you to notice two things. One is, how high is this hand? It's not here, and it's not here. It's essentially where your leg bends. It's the middle of your hip is where this hand drops. The other thing I want you to notice is that I want you, as you pull back, to keep your chest sinking. So one of the things that it's very easy to do is to pull back like this with our elbow going behind our side. And if we pull back like this, we actually open our chest and we no longer have this sinking chest. So when you pull back, I want you to feel your chest sinking, and actually your elbow will be more or less at the side of your body. It won't be behind your side. So that's the arm movements. Let's combine the arm movements and the feet. We're not going to sink down and get in there. I want to actually just start by seeing what the coordination is between the upper and lower. So imagine that I'm mirroring you. So this would be, your right hand if you're facing the camera. So what you're going to do is you're going to step back and swing. When the palm is up, the back foot is flat. Now we're going to do it on the other side. Swing, back foot flat, hand in front of the shoulder. Push out. Swing out. When the foot is flat, the hands in front of the shoulder. Swing and step. So if you're not very familiar with this movement, just do it a few times. So swing and step. Swing and step. Strike out. Swing and step. Strike out. Actually, I just remembered, I talked about the swing. That's only the first half of this movement, of this arm. We end up striking out. So there's a swing to the shoulder and then a strike.
And Pierre?
Yes.
If I could ask a quick question, how much waist turn do you want? Do you want a little bit of a waist turn here, or is it more like I'm looking at the enemy and I'm going to strike him and kind of keeping it square to the opponent?
Lovely question, Sam. You use your waist turn to pull your opponent towards you. So it's absolutely all about waist turn. And in fact, here the chest and the hips all are moving more or less in tandem. So the waist turn, the waist being the lower back, is taking the hips and shoulders together. When I will talk about the body orientation in a minute, and we'll come back to this. I'll talk about when your chest is square and when it's to the corner, because there is some movement there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So let's talk about the coordination of the upper and the lower body. So I will go in this direction. So we're starting in our empty stance. And now let's actually add the little details of the upper and lower coordination. So we've started with fist under elbow. As you shift your weight back, rotate the left palm up and release the right hand. Swing the left arm down as you swing the right arm down as you step back with the left foot. Foot flat, hand in front of shoulder. Now, with the waist turn, strike out with the right, pull with the left. And that's where you pivot on your right heel. Now we'll do it on the other side. As you shift your weight back and release the front foot, rotate your right hand. swing, and step, hand by the shoulder, foot flat. Now, push back with the left heel, straighten the left foot, pull with the right hand, push with the left. Do it a couple more times. So 1, shift weight back, start shifting weight back, rotate the front hand, step back, foot flat, arm by the shoulder. So now you've got root. Now with your back foot flat, you can actually do something. So pull with the left, push with the right, use your waist turn to do that. On the other side, start shifting weight, rotate the right hand, step back, swing, foot flat, hand by the shoulder, pull and strike. One of the things that we see often in Tai Chi Chuan is, we talk about a lot, is there are 2 parts, yin and yang. Here it's absorbing and releasing energy. When we're absorbing an opponent's energy, we're preparing, we usually go in a circle because that allows us to distribute their energy over the largest possible path. And we, like at any different piece of the path, we have to only absorb as little as possible. But when we strike, we want to go in a straight line. So with this arm circle, this is a circle. This first part is a circle, and then we go in a straight line. Go in a circle, straight line, circle, straight line. Now let me talk about Sam's question part 2. So let's talk about the body turning. So we've started in fist under elbow. Our chest is to the corner. We're going to step back, shift our weight, rotate the left hand, release the right, swing. When the foot is flat, the right arm, the right palm is in front of the shoulder. Your chest is now square. So it's gone from to the corner to square. As you push with the right heel and turn the body and pull with the left, your chest is going to the other corner. So now let's do the other side. You'll see that you're going to go from the left corner to the right corner. So 1, release weight, rotate the right hand. Step back, arm swings out, comes back to the left shoulder. Foot flat, chest square. Now pull with the right, push with the left. Your chest has gone to the other corner. And number 3, shift back weight, foot flat, hand by the shoulder, chest to the corner, pull and strike. When you do this movement, it's easy for us to focus on the strike because that's sort of like the obvious thing. But if you want to focus on something when you're doing this movement and really want to understand what the body dynamics and the energy is, think about the pulling. It's actually the pulling that is the work. Because as I'll show with Susan now, you're actually pulling your opponent into you. And so the strike, you don't have to do much of a strike because you're pulling your opponent towards you. They run into your striking hand. Okay, so actually I wanted to just quickly review the fist under elbow. Because Karen had a question about the lift. So I want you to come from that corner and you're striking with the left. So I'm going to connect. I'm going to step. Now I've got her wrist. We'll change direction in a second. But as I shift my weight back, I'm going to pull down. And now I've got her wrist in this position. Then as I lift up, she's vulnerable here. So Susan, if you take your arm away, that's what my hand position is. Okay. So now we'll do repulse monkey. So Susan grabs. And so the first thing I do, actually when somebody grabs you in Tai Chi Chuan, the first thing you do is you yield. That's maybe one of the hardest things. Don't pull back, yield. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking control. So let's just come up here, and you see this a lot. So when Susan grabs, by rotating my palm, now I control her. You can do it on yourself, but it's much easier if you have a son to practice on. So she grabs, I rotate. So when we start this movement, we say rotate the palm, that's what we're showing. We're showing from being grabbed to grabbing. Okay, so Susan grabs, I yield. Now I'm going to step back, establish my root, and pull. And so if she doesn't block, things happen. So let's just show that again. So Susan grabs, I yield and rotate and pull. And so this is why, because most of the work is being done by this pull, I want you to think about pulling, and the strike is just a bonus. The other thing that you might be thinking about, and I didn't really show that here, is this arm as it comes around. What's this arm doing? I mean, this is pretty much Susan comes in, let's say something else happens, it's a deflect. So you know this movement very well. You know, there's a punch, connect, deflect, push. That's what this part of the movement is. Are there any questions? Okay, let's call that good. Thank you. Good. So let's practice that together for as many times as we have until we get to the top of the hour. So we are in the end of fist under elbow, empty stance, left empty stance. So the left foot forward, heel touch, right leg 70% of the weight, left arm up, right fist under, right fist punching towards the direction of the elbow. Step back, repulse monkey. Release weight, rotate the left hand, release the right hand. Step back, swing the arm out and back, and now your right foot is flat, left foot is flat, right hand in front of the shoulder. Now with waist turning, pull with the left, strike out with the right at the same time. Number 2, shift back weight, rotate the right hand up. Step back, swing the right arm out and then back when the foot is right foot flat, left hand by the shoulder, pull and strike. And number 3, release the weight, rotate the left hand, step back, arm swings out and in, foot flat, hand by the shoulder, pull with the left, strike with the right with waist turning. And check your ending posture. You're looking in the straight direction, looking over the tiger's mouth of your right hand. Check your left arm. Is your chest sinking? Do you have your left elbow by the side of your body, or is it behind your side? So make sure that you have a nice sinking chest. Let's do that again. Step back, repulse monkey, starting at the end of fist under elbow, a left empty stance, or left foot forward, heel touch, 70% on the right. Step back, repulse monkey. 1, release the weight, turn the left hand, release the right hand. Step and swing. Foot flat, hand by the shoulder. Pull and strike as you turn the waist and straighten the right foot. Number 2, release. Rotate the right palm, swing and hand to the shoulder. Pull and strike with the waist turn. Number 3, shift back weight, turn the left palm up, step back, arm swings out and in, foot flat, hand by the shoulder. Now pull with the left, strike out with the right. Check your empty stance. How is your empty stance doing? Bring the back foot forward. Are you center line to side with the 2 feet? If you are, congratulations. Again. And if you're not, join the club. Or I should say, welcome to the club. Empty stance. Heel touch, left foot forward, fist under elbow at ending posture. Step back, repulse monkey. Release the left hand, rotating up, release the right. Swing and step. Pull and strike. Number 2, shift back weight, rotate the right arm. Swing and step, pull and strike. Number 3, start shifting weight back, left arm, left palm turns up. Step back, arm swing. Pull with the left, hand strikes. Do it in this direction. So we're in fist under elbow. Step back, repulse monkey. And so let's look a little bit. I will just check some of the postures as we go through this one. So your chest is to the corner. You're an empty stance, feet center line, two sides. Release the right hand, left palm up. Step back, swing arm out, foot flatten, hand by the shoulder. Now pull with the left, push with the right, waist turn. Check that your right foot is pointing to the front, left to the corner. Check your empty stance. Is your left knee and left toe in a line, or is it tilting in? Check your left hand. Is it by the center of your hip? And the next one, shift weight back, rotate the right hand. Step, swing, palm by the shoulder, foot flatten, pull with the right, strike out with the left. Again, check your stance. Do you have a nice empty stance, 70% in the back? Heel touch with the front, right hand by the hip, chest sinking, left arm pushing, striking out to the front, looking through the tiger's mouth. And stop. So the last thing that I'll mention here, we talked a little bit about the difference between the hands. So with Embrace Tiger, Return to the Mountain, this is a push. So when we're in this posture, before we do the rest of fist under elbow, this is a push. So your energy point is the flat of your palm. With Repulse Monkey, it's a strike. So the energy point is the heel of your hand. So actually, your palm is slightly at a diagonal. Your palm is not like this. It's slightly at a diagonal because this is the energy point. This is the connection point. Okay. Any questions? Let's close class. Dongxiamen, 再见。
老师，再见。